That's good. Okay, hi everyone. Maybe I'll introduce myself again. My name is Benjamin, based from Singapore. I'm taking care of the YSI range of products for Philippines. So for this morning, my presentation will be on the WQS segment. So I will try to speak slowly because my internet connection is quite weak here in the morning. And where you have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat or just leave it to the end of the presentation and let us know. And we'll get back to you with the answers or any follow-ups. Okay, so I shall start my presentation. So what I'll do for this morning, I will be doing a short company introduction of YSI, followed by water sampling WQS. Water monitoring EMS would be later on in the afternoon. The applications of the WQS instruments, success stories sharing, and followed by the Q&A sessions. So a little bit about the company of YSI. So YSI was founded in 1948, after which it was acquired by Adeco in 1988. And it was also acquired by Sontec later on in year 2001. Over the years, it got acquired, and after that got merged together with Xylem Water Solutions. So right now, YSI is under Xylem, under the group analytics division where I am from. So why we do that? Because under the Xylem umbrella, we have a range of other brands and equipment to complement together with the YSI equipment. So under the Xylem brand, we have VTV, SI Analytics, Royce Technologies, Andera, which is AADI, Global Water, Bellingham and Stanley, OI Analytical, YSI, Soundtech, Waterlock, and Ebro. And the industries we serve are at the bottom. Under the YSI umbrella, we have the WQS, which is a water quality sampling. So this range of equipments are usually used for spot checking, routine sampling, sample check. So it's more like a touch and go or one-time sample and you move on kind of equipment. And then we have another range under the EMS, which I'll touch in the afternoon, where you can install it like continuous monitoring systems, and also together with like with a panel, you can actually have it unattended monitoring. So we do provide these solutions and recommendations, proposals on how to build up the system according to your customer's requirement. So it's a customized solution. And then under the YSI side, we also have the ISS equipment, which is integrated systems. So this encompass the floating platform systems, the profiler systems, for example. So for this morning, I'll touch only on the water quality systems. So start from the sort of the more economical range of products is what we call the EcoSense. So these probes are all made in the USA, and they are pretty limited in terms of the data set memory and also the number of sensors that can Usually, they only can connect one or two sensors maximum. Then we have these handhelds and also pens. Let me have my pointer. Yeah. So we have these what we call pens. So usually it's like pH pens, ORP pens, or conductivity pens for those kind of quick one-touch measurement, maybe to your sample or to the lake. Yeah. Then we compete very well against the other players in the market. So under the YSI EcoSense, this is the DO sensor, ODO 200. So this is an optical sensor, our lowest range, our most economical range of this DO sensors that we have under YSI. So I will not read the whole thing. I believe these slides I will be providing to chemistry and we can share after this presentation. And others. So I will go through. Can everybody see my slide? I think I drop out for a while.
Hello, Sir Benjamin. We can see your slide.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah. So,
hello, Sir Benjamin.
Yes.
We can still see your slide.
Okay, great. Thanks. Then I'll continue. Yeah, so it's a family of handheld sampling instruments. We have the basic ones, the pro basics, the single dual parameters, the professional plus, which is a multi-parameter kind of handheld systems, and we also have dedicated single parameter DO sensor. Yep. And then the highest end is what we call the Pro DSS.
Excuse me, Sir Benjamin.
Yeah.
We cannot see your presentation.
Can, right?
We cannot see the slides.
Oh, okay. Just hold on. Can you see it now?
Still not, sir.
No, right? Okay. Just hold on for a while. Okay, how about now?
We can now see your slides.
Okay. Can now? You can see the slides?
Yes, Benjamin, you can now proceed.
Sure. All right, thank you. So sorry, the internet is quite unstable in the morning. I think there's too many people working from home here in Singapore. Yeah, so I'll say we have basically four main groups of Pro Series equipment. One is the Pro Basics, which is the like Pro 2010, for example. They are the single and dual parameter handheld sampling systems. And we have the Professional Plus, which is the multi-parameter. Professional Plus now is replaced with Pro Control. They are actually essentially exactly the same, which I will touch a bit on later on in the later on slides. And then we have the single parameter DO sensors, which is what we call the Pro ODO or the Pro Solo. Yeah. And then we have the Pro DSS, which is the premium range of handheld systems, because they are using the digital. It's a digital system. Yeah. So the Pro Basics, we have the model that we use to name them. Anything with a 10 in front would be for ISE PH or ORP. Anything with a start with a 20 at the front would be for DO. And the DO here is the analog DO. So it's the polographic or galvanic DO, not the optical one. And then the 30 number would be for conductivity. So these are all the models that we have for the Pro Basics. So some of the technical aspects of this Pro Basics is they are all glow in the dark keypad so that you are able to use it in low light conditions. We have about 50 data sets that you can record. They have quick count options, and they all have the built-in barometer for DO calibration. So this is an important factor when you want to use it for DO measurement. There's an auto stable feature where it will sort of take out any outliner readings so that we are able to have a smooth reading. The outliners will be due to environmental or electrical disturbances. So some of the discontinued products that may be familiar to you guys are the 55 and the 556. So all these here are actually the old handhelds before the Pro Basics came out. Yeah, so they have been discontinued, but we still have parts and components where we are able to repair these equipment if you happen to hold them. The next range would be the Pro Quattro, which actually replaced the Professional Plus. So they are perfect for customers who need to measure more than 3 parameters. So as example, you need to measure pH, conductivity, and ISE like ammonia. This is the Pro Quattro is fitting for this kind of application. Yeah, and it happens that if you don't need turbidity or depth, you can use the Pro Quattro as well. Otherwise, you have to move on to the next tier of professional series equipment. So these are the parameters that we can use on the Pro Quattro. You can do BOD measurement, DO measurement, conductivity, HORP, and ammonium, nitrate, chloride, conductivity, salinity, TDS. So salinity and TDS are derived from, calculated from the conductivity values and temperature. So they are very versatile products that you can use in the lab or in the field, where you can have cables up to 100 meters. So this is very good for those kind of tough deployment where where the river may be quite far away from the bank, where you want to measure right in the middle of the river, for example, or you need have let's say a drinking water well where you can use this to put the sensor down into the drinking water well to measure. So they are waterproof, IP67. They are also shockproof. They are actually have a rubber molded case, and you have weighted probe. So this is good for let's say you want to do a deeper water profiling, and you need a weight in order to for the sensor to reach down to the bottom. So you have the help system on the screen. You have different languages. Unfortunately, Tagalog is not inside, but I'm pretty sure everybody is okay with English. Then there's an onboard parameter to calculate real time of DO measurement. And also connecting to the computer and with the software, the data manager, you're able to download this data from this Pro Quattro. So the Pro Quattro, the Pro Quattro is ideal replacement for the 556, which is the very old YSI and the Professional Plus. And we can have it up to 4 ports to measure at any one time DO, conductivity, temperature, pH, or any ISE sensors. And then the 4th port can be also another ISE sensor. So these are just some of the other options, like if you don't want 4 ports, you can also have option for 2 ports kind of cables. So you can do like a pH, ORP, or DO, and another ISE sensors. We have also accessories where you can use it in the lab. Yeah, so we have like a tripod and also and other holders to have this Pro Quattro be like a very versatile equipment we can use on field and also in the lab. We also have a docking system, so you can use it with ease together with your, let's say you're doing this, in this case it's a BOD measurement. So we actually provide these accessories for your application. For BOD measurement, we also have the software that's provided to calculate and capture data and calculate the BOD and CBOD measurements. Yep, these are the accessories that comes with the Pro Series that you can supply. Basic stuff like the carry cases. We have the hard and soft versions and the weighted probes. Flow cell. Flow cell is very good for, let's say you have a well sampling. So you pump up the water and you flow through these flow cells to measure the water quality of your source water in a drinking water well and the tripod. Okay, the next range would be the Pro DSS, which is a professional digital sampling system. So yeah, they actually come a long way from last time. You can see this is really old analog sensors, data logging system. And then the handhelds, and then we slowly progress to what we have today, the Pro DSS. So they are used in field measurements. Yeah, in the past, they are mainly for temperature, DO, using electrochemical, polographic, or galvanic sensors. So as the temperature improved, pH, ORP, conductivity became more common field parameters that we can measure at the same time. So back then, the meters are either single or multiparameter, depending on the requirement. Then now, in the recent years, the biggest revolution we have is the optical dissolved oxygen. So it's actually reducing the need for like stirring, warm up, membrane change, cleaning of the DO sensor. So now we have progressed to have the optical dissolved oxygen sensors.
Wala kang dalang t-shirt.
We slowly move from an analog kind of systems to digital parameter system. So some of the challenges last time that we had was like it's hard to calibrate. There's no traceability. Then some of the complaints from the users is that they are not designed for lab. They are designed for the lab, not field. So and the equipment is not flexible. So we actually take in all this information and data from the clients to create this product. Yeah, so we came out with a few points that we have to design for this system. So it must be built for market use. Then we also have our own design of the cables and the connectors. So they're actually military military level kind of connectors. So it's very hard to feel in the field. Then we also have all the sensors onto one cable, so you don't have like multiple cables running into one data logging system, which can be quite messy at times. And we also create the capability to calibrate multiple sensors at one time. So you have fast response sensors that we design in YSI. Lightweight and flexible, easy to use. So with all these inputs, we want to reduce the overall operating cost, especially in terms of time. And then we also want to utilize the proven technology in use in the industry to eliminate risks. And also able to measure these parameters simultaneously. And we also create the small flow cell for low flow applications. Like mentioned earlier, is the measurement of source water in the drinking water well. Then we have the EXO, which I'll explain further in the afternoon. And then we want to design this Pro Series equipment as good as the EXO, but in a handheld factor. Yep. So these are all the design points that we have for the Pro DSS, and that's how we came up with the Pro DSS range of equipment, where you can see the incorporated the ruggedized handheld with a clear display, and the titanium sensors, which is very rugged and very good to use in very tough scenarios. So while the EXO sensors use different kinds of connectors, we have our own kind of our own internally designed connectors, all made of metal, all made of titanium, so that they are very rugged and used in difficult scenarios. Yeah. However, they are not really designed for continuous deployment, only for spot sampling. It would be good to use them in a spot sampling environment. If you want to use as a continuous deployment, you may move to the EXO range of products. Okay, the cables that we use, so one cable design for multiparameter testing, and we have it available up to 100 meters. So this is the universal 4-port design. So and because it's a digital system, any port will accept any Pro DSS sensors. And these are the available sensors that we have for the Pro DSS. Dissolved oxygen based on the optical sensor method. Turbidity, pH or pH ORP, conductivity and temperature, ammonium, nitrate, chloride, and also depth. So that is good for well monitoring measurement system, or you have to do a bit of profiling on the river or the lake. So these are the calculated parameters, ammonia, where you must have a pH and temperature sensor together so that you can calculate ammonia from the ammonia sensor. Total suspended solids. So it actually calculates from turbidity and also with the grad sample correlation factor. So you need to do a bit of work when you want to measure TSS. You need to do a grad sample measurement and calculate what is the correlation factor with the turbidity readings. TDS, salinity, specific conductance, seawater density. So these are all calculated from the conductivity and temperature sensors. Virtual vented depth, a barometer in the handheld compensates the depth measurement of the barometric pressure changes. Yeah, so there's no vented cable or tube or desiccant to change. So the whole system is IP67, so it's waterproof. If you accidentally drop it into the river, you still can fish it out and use it. No worries about it. There are some move of trends in the market where they want to use it together with a handphone or an Android. So it gets a little bit questionable at times, because if you happen to drop the phone into the river and that's it, both your phone and your readings are actually gone. Yeah, so we actually still recommend having a dedicated handheld for this. And the cables we design and we make this carries a 2-year warranty. They are very durable cables. So, and all the connectors are all metal. There's no any plastic connectors. Yeah. And also we have an option for GPS, so you can log in your location data for like, let's say you're doing a lake mapping measurement, and then you can actually plot the points with the measurements, and then you can map it in the software, the core DSS software. So a bit on the core DSS software is supplied with every handheld that you get from us, and you can connect to your handheld and download data, and you can plot it to have either a live data kind of feed, or historical data where you record everything and you can trend it in your computer. You also have to use the core DSS to update instrument firmware. So it's recommended to install the software when you have it, so that you can have the latest updates and any firmware updates to clear out any bugs, if any. You can also use the software to export the data as CSV or SMI. So it's the export it to Excel basically. So on screen help, there's a little help key button. So you can press that and to activate the help function if you are unsure of how to let's say do a calibration. You can press that, and then you can have a step-by-step follow on screen kind of solution in order to help you in your challenges. And for the handhelds, it can hold up to 100,000 data sets. They're using the non-volatile internal memory. So even if without the battery, or the battery died, all right, the memory is still safely stored inside the memory. Logging modes, you can have a single or continuous. This is good for if you want to do a quick site deployment measurement. So let's say you want to measure over 4 hours of 15 seconds each time. Yeah, you can set it to run at continuous mode and just leave your equipment there, and it will just take a sampling every 15 seconds for 4 hours. So this is good for you to leave the site and do other things and come back and just take the data and move on. So you don't have to be there physically pressing read every 15 seconds. And with the controller, you can have data tagging options. So you have 100 site lists to differentiate what you're measuring. So let's say you have you are measuring parts of the lake, maybe the inlet and outlet of a lake, for example. You can set it to station 1 and station 2. So each time we are at let's say the inlet of a water lake, you just when you measure them, the readings are kept for that particular site. Then when you move on to the, let's say the outlet of this lake, then you all the measurements that you measure will be kept for that particular site only. So this is what it means by this station 1, station 2 data tagging options. Then it's also conforming to the good laboratory practice calibration records. So when you do your calibration, they are kept within the handhelds and the sensors, and they are not able to modify or do any correction to it. So it sort of conforms to the good laboratory practice methods. Then you can also set password on the handheld so that you have only authorized people using this handheld. Auto stable feature. So you can actually do some settings to sort of select the stabilized readings. Yeah. So you can just go into the menu and this stability function. On the handheld itself, you can have graphs. So you can have a very, let's say you have 100 data sets at that point in time, and you want to see what's the trend, just a quick look. You can actually run it, and you can have a quick knowledge of how your water is reacting, or the readings are showing for that period of time. So that's a standard screen of the points where what you can see during measurements, and also the real-time graphs. This is a screen grab of calibration mode. So the screen LCD graphic display, backlit with a backlit keypad, so that you're able to use it in low light conditions. Which is powered by a rechargeable battery, which is replaceable. But you got to send it back to a chemisphere or to myself, so that we can help to change this battery. And this is a USB port cable. Actually integrated into the case, so you will not lose it. But if you do not have this cradle, it's fine. You can actually use any cable that's on the market to download the data to your USB stick. So yeah, the one thing good about it is you're able to, if you don't have a PC, you can still download direct to a flash drive if you need to extract the data immediately. So what's included in the equipment? You can have the GPS as an optional point that you want in your measurement system. Within it, built in is the internal parameter. The battery pack, and when it's delivered, it's at 50% charge. So when you take it, when you receive it, you can charge it full, or you can straight away use it in the field if you need it. You need to use it urgently. There's an AC power supply with international outlet adapters, the standard USB cable, and the micro USB to USB stick cable, which is this one, sorry. And then the USB stick with core, DSS, and manuals, which we provided in each box. And then the quick start guide and the hand strap. So this all provided with each Pro DSS handheld system. So I'd like to talk a bit more on the Pro Quattro because it's a fairly new product to replace the Pro Plus. So a little background on it. Again, the single parameters, the dual and the multi-parameter. So we're actually in this is actually in the multi-parameter range of the Pro Series product. So the common features, it's the same as all of our professional series, waterproof, military spec connectors, high contrast screen, single cable design for the multi-parameters. So these are all the common features that we have. It was released last year, and we are slowly educating our users to trade in the Pro Plus or the older 556 to the Pro Quattro. These are some of the kits that we sell together with the Pro Quattro. And yeah, you can see that it's almost exactly the same, just that it has the permanent USB connector on the top. Yeah, previously it wasn't. Previously you need to use a cradle. Right now we actually just convert it to a USB port. So the handhelds are very similar between the Pro Quattro and the Pro Plus, but with a few key differences. So now is last time you need the PC to transfer software or update software. Now you don't need, you just connect the USB drive directly to it, and you can do data transfer or updates. And then the good thing about it is there's no change in the cables, sensors, or accessories. So they're actually backwards compatible, meaning to say that if you are now using a Pro Plus, you can, and your Pro Plus breaks down, you don't have to throw away all your cables and sensors. You can just get a new Pro Quattro handheld, and you're still able to continue using your existing cables and sensors. Then there's no need for that Pro-Com saddle, so you don't need that cradle thing to connect to charge and to download data. And also the price is also slightly cheaper comparing to the old system. So we are trying to replace out the Pro Plus moving forward. So the Pro Plus was discontinued in last year September. So but we still able to support, meaning to say that if let's say your existing Pro Plus has just let's say a case crack or LCD faulty, you can just change those components with us. So we allocate 5 years of support. Another latest product that I'd like to touch on is what we call the Pro Swap. So this is quite interesting because it's a single parameter handheld system using the Pro digital sensors. So if you remember just now, I mentioned about the Pro digital sensors. They are the highest and the most premium sensors, but they're unfortunately as of now they were only available as a multi-parameter option. So in the event you only have to do 1 point measurement, we have this Pro Swap to do that. so that you don't have to buy the whole set. You just have to buy this controller and that particular sensor that you want to measure. So under this, the pulse swap, if you connect with a dissolved oxygen sensor, it's actually the pulse solo. So yeah, so yeah, actually they are the same items if it's a DO sensor. And then you have the Pro DSS, which measures the multi-parameter. So the same common features of the Pro Solo, Pro Swap, and Pro DSS, the same color display, the same kind of handheld. Also, the data set memory is the same. The rechargeable batteries capability is the same. Micro USB port, data export to a USB or USB stick is the same. And they all can use the same all TSS software. So we actually introduced this product early this year, and the take-up rate is pretty good because we have customers in the field where they want to buy Pro DSS type of sensors, and they need that particular kind of accuracy, but they only want to measure one parameter. So with this, right, it will help them cut down their overall cost. Yeah. So this is how the pulse swap system with a single parameter cable and that sensor setup would be like. Yeah, and these are the technical specifications of this pulse swap. Like mentioned, they are to be used with the smart sensors, the individual Pro DSS sensors, lots of lithium batteries, and 3-year warranty on the handheld.
Can I ask the participant to please mute yourself?
Thank you. So yeah, these are the sensors that can be used for the Pro DSS pulse swap. The conductivity, the ODO sensors, turbidity, pH, ammonium nitrate, chloride. So these are the ISE sensors. And then the total algae, PC and PE. So one is for the freshwater measurement, one is for the seawater measurement. Algae sensors, algae and chlorophyll sensors. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's all for the YSI WQS presentation. So I would like to hand over back to Daniel. Then later on in the afternoon, I'll touch more on the EXO and the EMS range of products. But so far, any questions? I can see that there are some questions in the chat.